Elise, good to see you. Welcome to week 2, day 3 of the bottom line. You're so lucky to be here with us, or I mean, we're lucky to have you with us, one or the other.
The ego on this guy. Congresswoman.
I'm excited to be here. Congratulations on your new show.
Thank you. I don't know what took you so long to get here, but welcome here on week 2, day 3. Okay, Elise, talk to me about the debt ceiling negotiations. You're in leadership, right? You're part of this elite team in the House Republican Conference that kind of formulates strategy. What happened today, and how does this end?
Well, first of all, Speaker McCarthy had an hour-long meeting with President Joe Biden, and this was a win. Remember, Sean, it wasn't that long ago where the White House said they were going to refuse to negotiate with House Republicans. Speaker McCarthy correctly went in to negotiate, to start this process, to lay out that the current trajectory is unsustainable. We're talking over $31 trillion of debt. We are saddling future generations, and trillions have been racked up in single-party Democrat rule. So like any family or any small business would have to have these discussions, so does the federal government. And one of the messages that was sent in this midterm, Sean, is we have to get our fiscal house in order. So House Republicans are going to stand strong when it comes to bringing us on a path towards fiscal responsibility. And part of that is coming to the negotiation table. So the fact that Speaker McCarthy was in there on behalf of the American people, we are starting this process, and importantly, it's going to lead to good governance, fiscal responsibility, as well as just standing up for hardworking Americans.
I held up this delicious Congresswoman statement that came out from President Biden after his meeting with Speaker McCarthy. And at the very bottom, it says, the president welcomes a separate discussion with congressional leaders about how to reduce the deficit and control the national debt. And then he goes on to brag about which is a fib, and I'm being kind, about the deficit reduction in the first 2 years in office. But this just seems to say you're gonna raise the debt ceiling and then we'll talk about cutting spending.
Well, it is a non-starter. Think about the American family, Dagan. If you're a parent and your child has access to a credit card and they go up to the limit, you have to owe that money as a parent, but you're not going to not have a tough conversation with your child. You're going to make sure that you have that conversation as a family, that you tighten your belts, and that you have fiscal responsibility. The American people, they deserve that as well. The American government has to have that conversation. So it is just tone deaf for this president, this White House, to think they're just going to stick their heads in the sand and that they're going to get a clean debt ceiling. That's not a non-starter. We have to be responsible. We are going to be sensible, but we need to have a conversation about savings and about fiscal responsibility, just like a family, just like a small business.
And if we don't, we're going to have a crisis on our horizon. This thing is going to end very poorly, Elise, and thank God Republicans are pushing this to reform spending. But I want to switch gears on you, because this is an issue that you've been out on and forceful in your speaking. Because in the wake of the nation's infant formula crisis, Commissioner Robert Califf says the overhaul will not include the firing of any employees involved in the agency's delayed response. So where's the accountability, Elise? You have this crisis, no formula on the shelves, mothers like yourself concerned about can they feed their babies, but no one's held accountable?
It's unacceptable, Sean. And I will tell you, it's 1 year ago this month that it was my letter regarding the baby formula shortage that started off this process towards fighting for accountability. And what has the Biden administration done? They've stuck their heads in the sand. We see this over and over again. And they also tried to pass the buck. In the case of the FDA slow-walked this process. They knew this was going to be a crisis, and they failed to address it. So the fact that there's going to be no accountability, that's unacceptable.
Shameful.
And I will tell you, while my son is no longer on formula, he's drinking whole milk proudly, and a lot of it. We need to make sure that we are addressing this legislatively. But the fact that the Biden administration is doing nothing is unacceptable.
Meantime, House Republicans, yourself included, passing a bill to require federal workers to return to in-person offices. At the same time, across the aisle, they want to give federal workers an 8.7% raise after getting nearly a 5% raise last year. Congresswoman?
We proudly passed the Show Up Act, and it means exactly that. Federal workers are required to show up to work. I will tell you, running our congressional office in New York's 21st District, there have been backlogs in passports, in VA claims, in all of the responses from federal agencies. That is unacceptable. The American people are showing up to their jobs. So do the federal workforce. So that is what our bill did today on the floor. And the fact that Democrats want to oppose that concept is just nonsensical. And I will tell you, we deserve accountability. The these jobs are paid for by the American taxpayers. So showing up will make sure that we're able to address these backlogs and better serve the American people.
And at least you're able to get Democrats in the House to come back to actually vote. You got rid of proxy voting. So Democrat members of Congress actually have to show up for work, too. So really well done, Elise. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. You're the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.